13th, 2022. Now this is interesting because Dr. Jen on GMA3 is mentioning enzymes and biomarkers for something called S.I.D.S, which is S.I.D.S, sudden infant death syndrome. That's when they're enfant or infant, depends on the language. But then there's something as they get older called sleep apnea. And then they require a whole bunch of different tests. They send them into sleep labs. They do sleep studies. They give them something called a CPAP machine, different than a pap smear, though they sound the same, kind of, sort of, in a not really way. Again, these are like pneumonal, they're sound specific to this urban pop and the linguistical prowess that it's grown like a disease all within itself in their super education of everything wrong in the world. Like some radicalized industry. So she recognizes it as S.I.D.S, but I mean, what is the real difference between that and sleep apnea? Now they're saying you don't need a machine. Now they'll surgically implant something. Like surgically implanting something at a heart valve, if you have a dysrhythmia, I could understand that in this broken logic, in this radicalized logic, even though it's still an foreseen circumstance, I suppose, of other problems going on. But the thing is that how for breathing rhythm is a surgical implant actually working? Like, right off the bat, it needs more explaining because the breathing function is a signaling issue, which is like a CNS, ANS kind of a thing, and it's supposed to be on an automated pattern. Why is that being interfered with? I mean, the AV and the synode, it's an SV and an AV node on the heart timing of electrical equipment, but again, why are these things malfunctioning? It doesn't make sense. It just only makes sense if they're trying to sell medically advanced equipment and then let the people deteriorate. But I didn't think that was the original modus operandi, is to make this into some political circus where they weaponize the policies and the people and the movement and the process. I mean, they've weaponized everything over here. It's foul. And I'm not talking about just my people. I'm talking about my people want to scale back, and then it becomes a problem. Why is that?
You were saying?
They weaponized education. They weaponized money. They weaponized systems. But in, like, the human category, like, or the piecemeal. I mean, it is like the shit show run amok.
What was a new biomarker when it comes to S.I.D.S? What are we talking about?
This is an interesting new study published in E-Lancet. It's about sudden infant death syndrome and the potential breakthrough in a biomarker that can be checked for in the blood. This is an enzyme that was found to be deficient in some babies, small study, who died tragically of sudden infant death syndrome.
So now special geneticists or special bioengineer, which one is it, is involved in making a pronouncement that then allows some publication in this highly educated or scholarly field, while the rest of us are just in some punishment field. It's painful. This is not worth continuing.
Or S.I.D.S, this enzyme works in neural circuitry, so it works in the brain for the arousal drive that actually stimulates us to take a breath. So the hope is that if in larger studies this proves to be a consistent and reliable association that then we can put cause and effect to, that then it could lead to screening babies for this enzyme deficiency, and if it's low, either increased surveillance or potentially even a treatment. As it stands right now, as we all know as parents, for over a decade now, there's been a big push by the American Academy of Pediatrics, the term back to sleep. Put newborns, put infants on their back. Don't put blankets in the crib. Don't put toys in the crib. Don't let them sleep in our beds. Other things that can help lower the associated risk of S.I.D.S. Breastfeeding has a lower association, and keeping the baby asleep in a bassinet or crib in your bedroom, but not in your bed, also shown to be reduce the risk. But for any parent who's gone through this, there is nothing more tragic. So potentially there's some encouraging research.
And it's always so frightening.
And again, it's like sleep apnea is kind of along the same premise, if you think about it. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.